any similarities or things that you guys see in there.
Well, Exactly.
And then, what do you guys know? Do you guys know something about the area? Anything with the U? Make some sort of a U at one point. Alright, so on the table, as you see, length times width. This is called their indirectly proportional. And this we're going to look at in the graph. So, as the width gets bigger, the length is going to get smaller, and vice versa. So as the length gets bigger, the width has to get smaller to keep the perimeter the same. Alright, so I'm going to pose two questions to you guys in groups. First one is, what is the least amount of tables that you can bring and still seat all 18 people? So if you feel lazy, you don't want to carry a bunch of tables, what's the least amount you guys can bring?
8.
What's the least amount you guys think? 8 tables. So that's all you need to bring. But what if you guys want a big service area? If you guys have a big project, a lot of materials, you need to spread stuff out, how many should you bring?
20.
Exactly, you should bring 20. What are the dimensions of the 20 table?
4 by 5.
4 by 5, however you want to set that up. Okay, so we looked at this in a very non-mathematical terms. But if you guys were to approach one of these problems in a math book, they could say, what is the minimum and maximum area for a rectangle with a perimeter of 18? It's basically what you guys just did. But there's one glitch with this. We used whole numbers. Anybody know what a whole number is?
Like 1.
Counting numbers, basically. So,
Counting
this
numbers
problem,
plus 0.
you will get a different answer if you use real numbers. Anybody remember what a real number is?
Any number that
There you go. So you get your fractions, your decimals, your square roots. As long as they're not imaginary, you're kind of good to go. So then we're going to look a little deeper. So in your guys' groups, you guys need to find a rectangle with a perimeter of 18. See if you guys can find a rectangle that has a larger area than what you found. So you guys can discuss in your groups, and you can use real numbers. So it doesn't have to be a whole number like 4 or 5, 6, 7. So is there another table you guys can find that will have a bigger area?
It's whatever is square. Whatever one is a square.
Yeah, here.
Thanks.
Okay, did everybody come up with one? Or did anybody find one?
Yeah.
Did you guys come up with one? What is it?
4.5 by 4.5.
4.5 by 4.5. What's the area you got for that?
It has to be square. The square is the largest area when it's done.
Did anybody try 4.6 and 4.4? Anybody look at that? Anything other than this is going to get smaller. This is kind of the top one that you can get. So now let's look at another one. So what is the maximum area for a rectangle with a perimeter of 20? So if you guys can find the dimensions of that in your groups. Do you know what it is? Yeah, see, Trevor's too smart. Other than Trevor, anybody come up with one? 5 by 5. And what's the area you get for that?
25.
Alright, so stepping away from the problem, what do you guys notice about those two shapes?
They're squares.
They're squares. So can anybody come up with a conjecture that when we're looking for the maximum area with a fixed perimeter, what shape we're going to be looking for?
Squares.
Square. There you go. So that's the most important thing that you know when we're looking for a max. Oh, it's square. So, does anybody know what this shape is called? This graph is called?
Parabola.
Parabola. So it's the U-shaped graph.
It says it on the
So
board.
for your homework, you can take it out the door. I want you guys to look at these points and your table that you had and find a relationship between them. And I just want you to write 1 or 2 sentences talking about what happens between points 4 and 5. So we talked about that. So 4 and 5, the edge lengths, we hit a max. It goes, when we were first talking about the problem, we said the max was 20. We decided that was as big as table we could get. If we're working with real numbers, you know that you can get a bigger table.